Later on today at 5 o'clock, there will be exclusive commentary of PSG against Bayern Munich in the Club World Cup quarter-finals. Well, over on talkSPORT 2, Wales take on the Netherlands at the Women's Euros. At 9 o'clock, talkSPORT 2 will also bring you exclusive commentary of Real Madrid against Borussia Dortmund. But our main focus throughout the show will be on England's opening game at the Women's Euros. Come on, the Lionesses. They take on France at 8 o'clock, live here on talkSPORT. Here we go. This is the Saturday session. Mr. Rory Jennings, how are you doing, sir?
Mr. Clink, yeah, very well. Very well. Of course I'm well. Just springing my step. Chelsea have made it to yet another semi-final.
Yeah, big result, wasn't it? Big result.
Yeah.
And plenty of talking points, actually, as well. I think, firstly, Cole Palmer getting on the score sheet feels quite big, given the form of his at the end of the season, maybe even argue his form during this tournament.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that, Ollie. I feel like people like to focus on Cole Palmer, and because he's such a talent, because we expect so much of him, and because of the season that he had previously, we expect him to play to that standard consistently. And obviously that's impossible. He was totally unplayable that previous year. He under Pochettino, the form, I'm not sure I've seen a single season like it. It felt like the ceiling was crumbling at Chelsea, and he was the one person holding it up. And he contributed massively to us last year. He was undoubtedly one of our better players. He was undoubtedly our top goal scorer. He was undoubtedly our biggest threat. So this narrative that Cole Palmer sort of went totally off the boil.
He did go. No, come on, he did go off the boil.
It isn't quite true. It doesn't tell the story in its total capacity. What it does is it acknowledges that the form dipped from the sensational level that it was at. But he still shone when we needed him to shine. We beat Liverpool towards the end of the season.
It dipped to a significant level, though. He hardly scored a goal. He hardly got an assist.
Yeah, he hardly scored a goal. His goal scoring went off the boil. But it's important to remember that over the course of the season, he was still Chelsea's top goal scorer by a country mile. He was still had a very respectable goal tally. And when we needed him to shine, he did. We beat Liverpool towards the end of the season. He was the catalyst for that result. So I think it is important to acknowledge that, yeah, you might like to suggest that it didn't necessarily go as well as it had gone the previous year. And obviously the previous year culminated in him scoring for England in a Euros final against Spain. But this narrative that Cole Palmer went totally off the boil and the form was abysmal and all that, he was still our best player in an attacking sense. So I think what you're saying is true to a degree, but it is important to acknowledge that he's always been a sublime player for Chelsea Football Club.
I'll tell you who else looked really exciting is actually a man who's on his way to Chelsea, but Estval.
Yeah. For
Palmeiras, who actually got the equaliser. What a finish.
It felt like the night couldn't have gone better for Chelsea. Aside from the bookings, like obviously Levi Colwill now won't play in the semi-final, which is a shame. But apart from that, it did feel like everything went to plan. We've won the game. We've made it to a semi-final. The goal that we conceded was scored by our new player Estval. He's announced himself onto the scene. I thought it was a fantastic goal that he scored. Yeah. Obviously, a good goalkeeper saves it, and this is a problem that we're going to have. And that goal will, in fact, give us impetus to discuss Robert Sanchez again and again and again. Because any good goalkeeper saves that.
After the match, the Chelsea manager, actually, Enzo Maresca, had his say about Estval. Here's what he said about the incoming Chelsea player.
Very good. You can see that he's huge talent. You can see that he's fantastic player. And the only thing for me is when you come from South America or in general from the other part of the world to Europe, you need to adapt. So we're gonna help him to adapt, and first of all to be happy, to continue to enjoy football. And we don't have any doubt, because he's so good, that he's going to be a very important player for Chelsea.
Yeah, he sounds excited about it. He's just 18, Estval. The deal's worth about 52 million. But, Rory, Chelsea have now earned 61 million from the Club World Cup after booking their place in the semi-final. And it could be even more. It's quite astonishing, really. And they've been quite busy in the transfer market, as we expected they would be anyway. But this run in the Club World Cup, I think, it has been vitally important because actually they're funding a lot of these transfers already with the money they're earning from going far at the Club World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, when we discuss the Club World Cup and we talk about will it whet the appetites of the fans and ultimately it's going to work because there's so much money that they throw at it. If you throw enough money at any problem, the problem invariably goes away. And because now the clubs will take it seriously, the players in turn will have no option but to take it seriously. It's ripples on a pond. If the club are taking it seriously and the club are desperate to win it, that is going to impact the fans. That is going to impact the prestige of the tournament. And you're absolutely right. The money is ridiculous. You earn in a summer. And how long's the tournament going to last in total? A month? You can earn the money that you earn in a year in the Champions League.
It's crazy, isn't
It's
it? Champions
Champions League money in 1 month, which takes you, what, 10 months to win a Champions League?
Yeah.
You can earn it in 1 month.
I mean, bear in mind as well the fact that they are in it because they won the Champions League 4 years ago as well.
And the other thing that I think is important to remember, to win a Champions League, it's so hard, isn't it? The reason why the Champions League feels like a jewel in the crown, the reason why it's seen as being this coveted, highly desirable trophy is because of the history and how difficult it is to win. It's an elusive trophy that can evade some of the best players and best clubs for ages. The Club World Cup's not like that. If you look at Chelsea's run to what should be the Club World Cup final, you can see that if you have a bit of luck with a draw, it can be a very easy competition to win compared to the Champions League.
Yeah, I heard Darren Bent say the other day that as a player, he would have rather won the Club World Cup in this current format than the FA Cup. Where do you stand on that?
It's very difficult for me, somebody who's never played the game at any sort of level, to argue with Darren Bent. Darren Bent is right, isn't he? Darren Bent's words on this are far more significant than mine because he's played the game at the highest level, so he will know what the feeling of the dressing room is. For me, and obviously I'm looking at this simply through the lens of a fan, the idea of scoring an FA Cup final goal for Chelsea is what I dreamed of. Sing and Abide With Me at Wembley Stadium is one of my most passionate things to do. Like when I think about what being a footballer is, the FA Cup is a memory that will always come to my mind. Some of the best moments in my lifetime have been via the FA Cup. Roberto Di Matteo scoring against Middlesbrough in '97 will forever rangle as one of the most joyful moments I've ever experienced in my life. 1994 against Manchester United and David Ellery will forever rank as one of the most painful. I don't think the Club World Cup will ever have that impact on me. The FA Cup is something that's like in my blood. It's instilled into who I am.
Yeah.
The Club World Cup's brand new. It's a shiny, glitzy new toy, but it doesn't have the same ring to it. But if Darren Bent is saying that the footballer's perspective is this is more enticing, there's definitely some truth to it.
Yeah, because actually the way that because they were talking about it on Drive, the way Andy Goldstein did put it across was you are scoring the winner, and he's like FA Cup final at Wembley, or winning the Club World Cup. And let's say you play Real Madrid in the final, and Bentley was like, no, do you know what? I'd go for.
You see, on that logic though. On that logic, I disagree. On that logic, I think that you have to go the FA Cup. The FA Cup goal scorers, if you win your team the FA Cup, you immediately become immortal, don't you?
Yeah.
Like the reason why Man United sing "Always Look on the White Side of Life" is because he won them the FA Cup. One of the reasons why Roberto Di Matteo will always have such a place in Chelsea hearts and Chelsea folklore, and in my opinion should have a statue built at Stamford Bridge, is because he scored at the time the fastest goal at Wembley in the FA Cup. He ended Chelsea's 25-year drought for silverware, and then historically he scored the last goal at Wembley, at the old Wembley, in the FA Cup final again. These moments, like if I talk to you about FA Cup goal scorers, I feel like you name them. Michael Owen in Cardiff against Arsenal, winning Liverpool the FA Cup. Charlie George scoring for Arsenal in the FA Cup final and lying down. Jesse Lingard. Like I feel like you can. Ricky Villa. I feel like you can do that. Like if I ask you, you're a football fan, and this would have certainly been in your consciousness, and I reckon anyone listening to this will struggle to answer it. Chelsea won this competition very recently in the Middle East. We won the Club World Cup under Thomas Tuchel. Who scored the winner for Chelsea? And I'm not saying this to put you on the spot, because I don't expect you to know. I'm saying it because if I asked you who scored the winner for Chelsea in the FA Cup final in 2007, you probably go Didier Drogba against Man United.
Yeah. Is it a bit strange, the goal scorer?
No, I mean...
I'll be honest. I haven't got a clue,
the answer is Kai Havertz. I don't know. There's no reason for you to know that. I'm not saying it to put you on the spot. I'm saying it more to demonstrate that it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yeah,
if you score an FA Cup final goal, I feel like you will forever be immortalised in the folklore of the club. And I don't think that's the case with the Club World Cup.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.